Awesome.
Nailed it.
See you around. You feel that they will come.
Right.
So that's not the case anymore.
Through that suffering and through that community, I became a better Catholic.
Welcome back. I'm Darnell Miller, and today I'm here in Dallas, Texas at the Evangelical Catholic Conference, Priests for an Apostolic Age. And right now I have the pleasure of sitting down with Dave Plisky. Dave, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So the title of the conference is Priests for an Apostolic Age.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a priest,
I'm not.
but
They let me in anyway.
They let you in anyway. But you can talk about what it means to be in an apostolic age. So what does it mean to be in one?
Yeah. I think what it really, the heart of it is that in the Western world for so long, when you met a person, whoever it might be, during that time, you could assume that they were probably Christian or at least understood the Christian viewpoint and were sympathetic to it and understand, like everything was really based around that. That's not the case anymore. And that's really, I think, what denotes this new time period, which is a lot like that original church that we saw in the first, say 300-400 years of Christ. So what does that mean? That means that we've got to be going out and letting people know why we have this joy in our hearts, and sharing that message. Not necessarily beating people over the head over it. No one's talking about proselytization here. So what we find is that the people who are doing that work, who are bringing people in and kind of inviting them to this relationship, to at least to find out more even at the start, those are the people who we want to focus on, who are living apostolically, right? Those people who are missionary disciples, let's call them. So, yeah.
And so I know that you've done some research on the subject matter of finding out where people are in their understanding of a faith life or of a Christian faith. What led to wanting to dive into that as a topic, and what did you all find?
We at DeSales Media, we do a bunch of different things. My area is in tech, so technology. We're basically trying to modernize communications in the church through the tools that kind of come up beside ministries and parishes and so forth. And so we've been serving the institutional church for a long time. Lately, we've been pivoting to want to serve individuals directly more. And when we think about that, I'm a marketer by trade, so I think of the marketing funnel where we talk about bringing people, from becoming aware of a brand down all the way through, buying the product and actually getting to this place that we call brand advocacy, where they're so happy. I mean, this is like the Harley Davidson guy that's got it like
tattooed on his, and he still has a shirt and the jacket.
Exactly. Or like the sneakerhead who just has to have that new pair of Jordans and tells everyone about it, right? Like, so what does that sound like? To me, it sounds like missionary discipleship. These are the people who are going out and bringing people into the church and down through the evangelization funnel, right? So if that's true, and I think it is, then that means that's our target audience. And we wanted to know, well, what are intentional disciples like, and what are their unmet needs? And so we did. So we're not a research firm. We partnered with a Catholic research firm called Vinia Research, and we asked this question. So we designed a study around kind of finding those answers, and it led to this right here. We learned a whole bunch about these people, and I'm happy to share some of those findings. If that's
Absolutely, yeah.
So some of the things we learned are, these people generally attend Mass pretty frequently, as you might imagine, at least getting in an extra Mass every month, if not more. These people pray often. These people, identify Christ as the center of their lives. They involve Him in their decision-making, in their personal, work life, family life, etc., social life. So all those kinds of things that you might expect. What we found surprising was not all of them are comfortable in sharing their faith. 1 in 5 are uncomfortable sharing their faith with others, and only 56% are moderately or extremely proactive in doing so. Thankfully, there is an interest in developing evangelization skills, but we asked, what are the barriers to evangelization? What's causing this reticence, to be the case? And what we found was people are not comfortable, in culture, like not comfortable talking about their faith in certain situations, situational appropriateness. They don't know how to start the conversation. They don't know, those types of things. 76% said that they're interested in developing evangelization skills, so that's really positive. We also found that only 20% of this devout Catholics are receiving spiritual direction. I think 48% had never received spiritual direction. And when we asked why, mostly it was they didn't know how to find one. Even people who had one previously didn't know how to find one. 40-something%. And a full third of those who hadn't received it before said that they don't really understand it. So I think there's an issue there. So one issue is we gotta educate people about how important that can be, right? All the saints had spiritual directors,
Absolutely.
right? So certainly we for disciples and disciple making, we need this. We kind of broke down the faith, but among 5 different categories and 27 different areas, and tried to ask where are your strengths and where's the room for growth. If you can kind of rate yourself. Some of those areas of that we really need kind of work on among us devout Catholics are in regularly going to confession, not as high as we would have hoped to see. In terms of expressive fruits of the faith, the spiritual and corporal works of mercy, just getting our hands dirty a little bit. Humility actually was a really high area of need, unfortunately. I know it sounds kind of funny, but it's not. This is the church. The spiritual direction certainly came up. Going on retreat actually was one of the highest things that people had little to no strength in. I think a full 80% are either have no or little level of strength in going on retreat, retreat regularly, but recognizing a high need for growth in that area. So those are some of those areas that we kind of identified clearly, could use some attention.
With this information, what do we do next?
Yeah.
Like, how do we take this information as like raw data of hey, these people have expressed needs in these regards. Yeah. Whose responsibility is to step up?
It's everyone's. So, I think there's 2 main audiences I'm wanting to reach right now. Mm-hmm. One is just for those devout Catholics. If this feels like if you might have taken this survey, first of all, I encourage you to download it so you can really go look at check my math. First of all, check those stats. But no, please download it to take a deeper look. It's at DeSalesMedia.org/discipleship is where they can get it for free. And in there, you'll see all those 27 things. So do a diagnostic of yourself and kind of rate yourself, be honest, and say where are my areas of strength? Where's my areas of need for growth? And kind of just do a diagnostic and say, all right, how am I doing spiritually? And then more importantly, look at those around you. If you are that far along in your discipleship, chances are you are a leader of some sort, whether it's in your parish, in a ministry or something. So look at others around you, those who you serve, and say to yourself, all right, where's this person? What do they need? What is that next step that they could take that would kind of get them to go deeper with the Lord and with others? And is that something that I can accompany them with, or do I know someone who could bring into relationship with them, like that type of thing? Yeah. That's like one concrete step. Okay. And I've been asking, people have been like, oh, you mentioned this diagnostic tool. I think we need to create this questionnaire so people can do this. So I think that's to come. The second thing is, if you lead a ministry or something like that, or you work for a ministry, I would love to just have a conversation. I want to have a conversation with as many people as I can about what they see as the white space. Where's the opportunity here for us to be addressing? And is that something we can partner together with, or you should be partnering with someone else? I want to see more partnership in the church, people looking to work together first. Absolutely. And DeSales is all about that. We don't even have to lead, we just want to go together. So absolutely. Those are kind of my takeaways for you.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for sitting and talking with us. This work is really interesting, and I'm really excited to see what we can do to step up to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the people who are going out and evangelizing, and creating more people who are prepared, equipped, and excited to do the same.
Yeah, as the Evangelical Catholic calls it, making disciple makers, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
All right.
And thank you for watching.